Okay. This is take one. All right. Welcome to the InterCellar Pod, where we get below the surface and help you build a foundation of hope, one conversation at a time.
Aren't we supposed to be able to hear it?
No, they can hear it. We can't hear it.
Oh.
Because if we could hear it, then the reverb through the... Yeah.
That was a cool soundtrack, though, wasn't it? I picked it out.
You did. I went through... YouTube free sounds. And I know that off the top of hearing that it sounds kind of lame. But to be honest... some of the headache and stuff of trying to figure out what sounds you're allowed to use or what copyright you need, etc. It's like if you're able to find an audio on YouTube's free audio library, that's like, oh wow, that's a nice tune. It's like 1,000 times easier. So I always start there first.
And that was a nice tune.
It was a nice
wasn't
tune. I thought so. Yes, we could get little earpieces or something to where we can like hear.
That would be
Or some, I don't know if that's a thing, but
it's okay. We'll just pretend we could hear it.
So welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
We have been planning this for a very long time now, and in the last 3 months or so, it started to kind of come together finally, and a lot of that was not exactly what we were expecting. It was just like, oh, we have a basement. We could call it InterCellar Pods.
It's literally a cellar, though. Like,
yes.
We call it the basement, but like, this house was built in the early 1900s, so this was definitely where they like threw their potatoes and stuff.
Yeah, and there's
Most
so
likely.
many pipes and stuff in here that it's like, does that even go to anything anymore?
Sometimes we should give them like a behind the scenes. If they could see what we were looking at right now.
So we have a washer and dryer that are our up front audience.
Yes, they're front and
the front
center
stage.
Not stage, in the audience.
Front
row.
Front row seats, washer and dryer.
Can they actually hear the dryer going right now?
Probably.
The dryer's going right now.
It's a nice little hum in the background there.
It has 20 minutes left, and then it's going to buzz, and everyone's going to hear
unless it decides that it's not unhumid enough in the dryer, and it decides to continue to dry. Because apparently that's a thing.
It's just a fuzz. I thought it was a bug falling on me from the ceiling.
That one bug's still on the ground, doesn't know what he's doing, contemplating life.
For the people that can't see right now, we are in like there's cement behind us. There's a AC pipe going above my head.
Heating duct.
And we are, there's reasons why I thought maybe a bug just fell on me.
Yeah.
But
we love it. It's our little cute studio, and you can't actually get here from inside the house. You actually have to open a like full-on hatch door outside to get down in here. Mm-hmm. And the funny story is that when we moved in,
when we came to look at this house, I almost cried when we came down here and I realized that I would have to do laundry in this.
Yeah, the laundry hookups are down here, and the stairs are like...
They're really steep, like super steep.
They're like a half step, too. It's not even like a full stair.
No, your full foot like can't even fit, so your half of your foot is like hanging off. And I was 6 months pregnant at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I still made it down here, and today, as of today, I'm 8.5 months pregnant. And I made it down.
2 weeks. 2 weeks to go.
And also, I haven't fallen down the stairs.
Yeah. No.
But
somehow, I have fallen down the stairs twice. The first time wearing your shoes that barely fit on my feet. And the second time, I was wearing Crocs which, to be fair, the stairs, so they're like half steps, and then they're like slanted another however many
they
degrees
slant
more
down.
than normal.
So you have to come down like a duck.
You have
or a penguin. I don't know.
The key is weight on your heels, not like the ball of your foot. Because if you do the ball of your foot, then you're gonna be on the ball of your back, which I've done twice. I have not
and
broken
he came
anything.
Upstairs and he had this big scrape down his arm. And I was like, "Did you fall down the steps?" And he was like, "Yep."
Yeah, I came into the house and I was like, "Now we don't have very many rules, but I think that we need to have a rule about holding. There is a guard. There's like a handrail.
Yeah, there actually is. Yeah.
And somehow I still fell down." I think while holding the handrail the second time, and I don't even know.
If you haven't caught on, falling down, when people fall down, it makes me laugh so much. And I get it from my family. They're to blame. My mom especially. She's to blame. She would laugh when we were little. She would try so hard not to laugh. But we knew that she was hiding all of the laughter. Why does it sound like someone's breathing down here?
I don't know. I think are those crickets?
Anyway.
I don't know.
So it's a good thing I haven't actually seen him fall down the stairs because I would have lost it. It would have been very mean. It's not out of meanness. It literally just hits a funny bone in me and I just lose it. Like, I feel so bad for the person that fell, but.
Were we dating when you fell off the ripstick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it wasn't after being. So we're dating. And we're at my parents' house, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go down so we have a drive that's like fairly steep-ish that kind of curves around the house." And Annie's like, "I'm gonna go down the hill on the ripstick," which
I hadn't ripsticked for a while. I was really excited about it.
Yeah, and
I do know how to ripstick.
My brothers and I, we go down the hill a lot, but we kind of do the like back and forth snowboard thing down the hill. And so I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, like she probably knows. He
said, just make sure you go back and forth. Don't come straight down.
And she came straight down. And you just completely wiped out. And my immediate thought was, oh man, she has totally lost her front teeth. Like, and I have sympathy pain when people get hurt, and so I felt like I lost my front teeth, and you're just laughing hysterically at yourself.
And to just explain how bad the fall actually was, like I thought I could just hop off the ripstick to like. I don't know. I thought that would just end the ride. You know, it didn't end the ride. So I did a few of those staggering huge steps where you're trying not to fall. And then I just fell just smack on my face. And my feet flew up so far they almost touched my back. And my face was like millimeters from smacking the pavement. Yeah. And I ripped all the way through my jeans. There was like denim imprinted into my knee from my jeans. And then I just started laughing hysterically on the concrete because I started picturing what it probably looked like. And you did not laugh at all.
No, I did not. I was very concerned. But nothing was broken that we know of.
Except my pride.
Yeah.
And my ability to ripstick, apparently.
Yeah. I'll have to work on that now that we have a driveway again. So kind of wrapping it back around. So we actually, we're kind of joking about it. We're very thankful about our little cellar and our little house and everything. Yes.
Now I love it.
So what we told God when we were moving was that we were like, we want like a tree house, or we want like a bus, converted bus, or an RV or a camper.
We wanted the bus life.
Some kind of adventurous thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this wasn't out of like some kind of just like stuck up pride thing or anything. We genuinely were like, and there's more to the story, but we were having to move again, and we were trying to figure out options, and
we had a time crunch.
We had a time crunch, and we were like, you know what? We're going to trust God more than we did the last time we moved. And so, excuse me. And so, we were just like, you know, he's gonna come through with something, and we will fill you guys in a more depth with the story and everything in the future. But ultimately, what happened is, in the last moment, as God likes to do sometimes, to grow and strengthen our faith.
Actually, most of the time to us, but
yeah, a lot of times for us. I think it's because I think that's just like our class right now. But he comes through, brings us to this little house, and we literally kind of feel like we're in a tree house because it's this tiny little house. That's, you know, just very intimate, very small, almost like a tiny home, but it has lots of storage space and lots, like, for example, the cellar space is as big as the largest room in the house.
But it doesn't have storage space in the house. It's outside the house.
Yeah,
so our storage space is in the cellar and in the shed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the house has like all these trees that like grew over it basically. So it's like in its own little like glade kind of.
Yeah.
In the middle of like tons of townhomes that have no yard and no driveway and like nothing. And we might have a tiny house, but we have a beautiful little yard and lots of trees. And we just realized we have a mulberry tree.
Yes.
In the front yard.
So
that's very exciting.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a mulberry tree. Everything I looked up said it's a mulberry tree. I've never tasted a mulberry that tasted like that. It was like more mellow. It looks like a
blackberry to me.
It looked more mellow.
Is it an elderberry?
No. Elderberry is like a bush. Yeah. Same with blackberries. But no, it's definitely an elderberry tree. It's just a bit of a different breed.
An elderberry tree. A mulberry tree.
Mulberry, yeah. That's right. That's right. I think this one has more mold than berry, and I don't...
More mold than berry?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But when we first came and looked at this house, it was in, like, the rainy, everything is still dead part of the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was raining.
Hated it.
And the yard was muddy. And this private showing ended up to be a showing with, like...
8 other people.
Or more.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, okay, all right. But I don't think a single other person placed an offer on the house.
No, because it was the worst day to try to sell this house to anybody.
Yeah. But we were there. We were the last people there because we're like, we think this is where God's leading.
Yeah, we were. I felt less and less sure when we were here looking at the house. But you were more sure.
I was
sure until we pulled up, and I just was like, oh, my goodness.
I think that the part that I wasn't sure about was there's always that element of, like, okay, but I need to take care of my wife. And so, I don't know. There's, like, that part of me that's, like, you know, like, I feel like I sometimes can just be like, like, I'll just run out into the, you know, whatever, and I'll go super hardcore and, like,
yeah.
You know, if this is what God wants, then we're just going to go for it and whatever. But
when you have a family, and especially when you have a kid,
yeah,
everything changes when you're thinking about where you're going to live and what you're going to do.
And I don't think it's supposed to make us make less steps of faith, because I've definitely seen that happen in families where it's like the more responsibilities they get, the more that they try to take it into their own hands. But it does mean, I think, that when you have more people that are affected by your decisions other than just you being more intentional about those decisions. And that's definitely something as a husband and a father that I definitely take into consideration very frequently. And just learning more about what that means and how to follow him.
Do you feel like your trust level in God has had to go even higher since finding out that you were a dad? Like, when you make decisions for us as a family now, like, it's like more, does it feel more intense or no?
Yes, I think so. But at the same time, the closer that it gets to the birth, the more that I'm like being face to face with the reality of how the Heavenly Father thinks about me. And so, which I think is how we should approach that, instead of taking on all that responsibility and being like, that we should.
I'm really excited to like we have a kid right now, but he's not like, we can't see him. He hasn't been born yet. But once he's born, I feel like we're going to learn a lot more and a lot deeper what God's love looks like for us as his kids. And I'm so excited about that. Yeah. I mean, we've learned that just since I've been pregnant, but I think we're going to learn it a lot more.
That's what I was talking to the guy at church about today. He was talking about, he's like, there's nothing like, basically there's that moment when you're holding your first child, and realizing like, wow, like there's nothing that they could do that would make them not love them, or make me not love them. And that, I might make mistakes and they might make mistakes and stuff, but just that, like that fatherhood, mentality, perspective. And I'm really excited for that, because I know, and that's what I was talking about. I was like, I know it's coming, and it's already like kind of here, but it's just going to be there.
Yeah.
When he comes, and there's no way around that, I feel like.
Yeah.
And thankfully.
Circling back around to the house.
Yes.
It's been pretty awesome. So obviously we went through with it because when we left the showing, like, I cried. I was like, there's no way God is taking us to this house. Like, it just needed a lot of love. And it's so tiny compared to our other house. And it's just a whole other vibe. It's in the middle of the city. It's like, we hear trains all the time, traffic, ambulances, everything. Like, it's not quiet. But I could not shake the feeling that we were of this place and that we were supposed to be here. Even though I was fighting against it in my feelings, I knew I just couldn't shake the deep, like, sense of like, yep, we should go through with this. So we did. And
well, God even showed there was another house that popped up that for a
looked a lot better.
A brief moment we thought, oh, maybe this is where God's leading, and it was just complete closed doors and everything, and we're like, oh, yep.
It was a scam, basically. I mean, it wasn't a complete scam, but it was just a really bad rental company that we were not going to go through with.
Yeah,
so.
Which also made me even more grateful for the house that we found, because I was like, I found out that this renting company, found out this renting company done buying out all of the houses in the whole stretching community.
Yeah, the sketchy one that we were looking at, this other house with, they apparently are buying out all these houses, but they're horrible landlords, and so nobody wants to rent these because all their reviews are horrible. So
whereas this company only owns like a smaller amount, and they've been phenomenal. Like they've been really great. All of I mean, they got us into the house super fast, which I mean
did a lot of maintenance stuff for us.
We were on a deadline. And then the maintenance people has been amazing.
He's great. So, yeah. So we're really blessed. And it's amazing how, like, God takes you, like, he gives you, I don't know, sometimes you have to step the steps he's showing you to step and just let the feelings catch up when they catch up, kind of. Like, don't expect the happy, oh my goodness, I'm in love with this new house. Yeah. That's not how I felt at all. Like, I had to just take the steps, and then it's amazing how God changed my heart to like fall in love with this place. Like, we love this place so much more. And if you would compare it with our last house, it is like it was kind of a downgrade in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But
now with a new perspective and a new like having trusted God, it's like a total upgrade.
It's totally
an upgrade.
We love it so much. We like love it better than our last house, which was nicer. But this one just has so much character, and like God's just given us such a love for where we are physically here at this house and just the house in general. And we've had so much fun fixing it up, and fixing up this cellar has been really fun. And William did most of it. He did a really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. You did a really good job.
Did we ever introduce ourselves?
No.
So this is my wife, Annie, and I'm William. And
now we're introduced.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say and I am 90% sure that you will agree with this. The cops are coming for you. No, I don't know if you can hear that in the background.
I'm not surprised. No, I'm just kidding.
You're wearing black, so.
I look like. It's kind of weird sirens, though.
That's kind of weird.
I kind of look like I just robbed somewhere, but I didn't.
Yeah. No.
This almost 9 month pregnant lady ain't robbing nobody.
Robbing the fridge.
I'll be robbing the fridge. Yeah, that's where I'll be. But
Ooh, yeah, we got milk. We got chocolate milk stuff.
Yeah.
You can explain.
We have ice cream mix waiting to go into the ice cream maker.
It's chilling.
It's literally chilling right now.
Chilling like a villain.
For after this.
Yes, I'm very excited. Can't beat homemade ice cream.
But let's tell them why we decided to start this.
Okay, but first, because I'm 99% sure that you're gonna agree with me. The only thing that this house can compete with, or wait, this only thing that this house is an upgrade from the last house, but I don't know if it can compete with our first little home.
No, it can't. I don't think any of our homes will be able to.
No, there was just something, and I think it was also that time period too. But our first.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
No.
Okay.
No. It'll
save that.
They'll have to
okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Now that we've made you curious.
Yeah, you're gonna want to hear that story.
You're gonna want to hear that story.
Yeah.
Because our first home was pretty epic.
Yeah,
it was epic.
I agree.
I actually miss it a lot.
Yeah.
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 Those were the days.
We're not flaunting, by the way. You'll understand when you listen.
No, we're definitely flaunting.
I mean, okay. You'll understand when you listen. Is that a lizard? Nope.
What?
No, it's just a piece of trash on the wall.
Oh my goodness.
I thought it was a lizard climbing the wall.
Like if there's a snake, I'm out of here, never coming back.
No.
It's not. It's just a piece of dirt. I've been looking at it this whole time.
So, why we wanted to start the podcast?
Oh, yes.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell my half of it, and you can tell your half of it, and then we can kind of like combine the thought process. So.
I'm trying to think of my half.
Okay, so my
I'll just
half
listen to you first.
Is that what is my hair doing?
It does what it wants.
Rebel.
It has a personality.
So.
Today its personality is Albert Einstein.
Okay, that's not bad.
Have you seen his hair before in his pictures?
Yeah. I don't know. Could be worse. So ultimately, the reason we're doing this podcast is because we believe that this is where God is directing. But a little backstory. So I grew up doing I had a big imagination, enjoyed doing acting, enjoyed doing video, audio, different various things like that, because I found that it was a way that I could, because I learned that I was more of enjoying the director aspect and being able to create things than just being in plays, because I'd been in some plays and stuff, and I was like, this isn't quite. I don't just enjoy acting. I enjoy like creating things, and in the social media world, so to speak. Not because I want to be famous, though maybe at one point in my life, but more because I am a firm believer in the impact that you can make in people's lives via
media
and various, I guess various forms of media and such. And I'm actually kind of new to podcasts. I did more. There's a period of time where I did YouTube. I did a lot of like kind of almost like kids ministry type of things. And really enjoyed that. Enjoyed creating videos, learning to edit, learning all that kind of stuff.
And he did a really good job at it too.
Well, thank you.
Very
and
impressive.
Took a big break from that when I went to college and everything, which was very worth it because I met my beautiful wife here. But and then kind of tell your half of things, like you're sort of back with
podcasts.
Well, just like kind of because you kind of introduced me to podcasts a little bit.
I love podcasts, and I wanted to do one, I think, but I just didn't think it would be as fun. But
the child is speaking.
Yes, he would like to say that his feet are great and strong, and they're trying to go through my rib cage, but they have not succeeded. But it just feels like they might. Anyway, I love listening to podcasts, and I think I did want to do one. At some point, I wanted to be kind of one of the famous YouTubers / podcaster, all the things. But I don't know, it didn't appeal as much to do it by myself. So I just kind of put it on back burner, and then a few months ago, is that when we first kind of birthed the idea?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We probably joked about it like when we were dating, like, we should do a podcast, because we would get into like,
we have a lot. We've got dreams. We've got plans.
We are like, I thought I was like the biggest streamer, and especially in my family. Like, I just like as a teenager and stuff, I went on tons of adventures and stuff. I just pretty much thought I could do anything, and the world was just mine to
your oyster.
Go. Yeah, like I just wanted to, explore it all. And then I met him, and he's like the same way, if not more.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier a little bit. It's like you also were like interested in video making, vlog type stuff like that. Instagram,
I made videos,
etc. And you just enjoy it.
I love it.
And
I love sharing my life.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fun to me.
And so then us coming together and through our relationship and different stuff, kind of both growing together and growing closer to God, and kind of we just kind of went through this period of like, okay, where is God leading us? Because I mean, with my YouTube stuff and my just all of that, I kind of just completely set that on the back burner, everything, because I was like, I'm not going to come back to this until I have some more direction with like where God is leading with all of this. And then, so we really waited a long time. Sorry, I muted you.
It's okay.
Yeah. And so 5 years later, God has been orchestrating things, bringing stuff together for how Annie and I are going to be bringing our skills and our passions and our 5 years, and like I stopped doing YouTube, and then
since
4 years of college,
right.
Then another year. So so I guess a little takeaway, just a little something here, is that if you have dreams, like, don't be afraid to set them aside, like in the sense that like God's gonna bring everything around circle.
Yeah, he hasn't forgotten that you really want to do that, or that that's a passion that you have.
And if it is there, maybe it's not quite exactly what you expect to be. Like some of the stuff that Annie and I are going to be doing pretty soon, in the coming year or so, isn't stuff that maybe it wasn't stuff that I had envisioned or you had fully envisioned initially, but it's going to be so much better. And it's probably even going to be better than we can picture now, because God's going to direct there. But we really both feel like that media and, media outreach
that we both have a passion for it for a reason.
Yes.
And so, like, my passion is a little bit different than yours.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had a different vision and platform than I was really interested in, or like would have gone that route when you did social media. And then when I do media stuff, like, it's just changed drastically over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But like originally it was like vlogs, and I still love vlogs. That's probably still my favorite kind of media. I just think it's so fun. Well, and podcasts, but I don't know, vlogs are just so cool. But it's really cool to like combine our interests and see what God does with it. So yeah, the first step, we were just like, let's do a podcast, and it's not going to be some like really polished, like what's the word, like basically like come sit in our living room and hang out and let's talk kind of thing. Like,
we really, like, this really for us is like, especially, I mean, maybe this is more for me even than Annie, but it's like, okay, a little rusty. It's been 6 years, and at the time I had been doing video and audio and editing and different stuff for like 6 years. And so then I stopped for 6 years. And so that it's a lot of like, how edit?
Right, because media,
what is camera?
Media changes so
Yes,
fast. Like,
that
even
too.
like on Instagram is what I'm most familiar with, and like the Instagram trends a year ago are completely different than what everyone's doing now. Like, it changes so fast. So like if you walk away for 5 years and then come back and are like, okay, let's figure this out, there's like a lot. It's different. It's so like, it's changed so much. Yeah. So it'll be an interesting process.
Yeah.
But
So this is our kind of getting back into the swing of it, and also getting our voice out there, not in a like, arrogant, like, we have opinions, we have stuff that we need to say.
Yeah, listen to our opinions.
It's more
please.
like, I know that there's been a lot over the last 6 years that like, we've both grown and learned, and like just a lot there that's kind of just been sitting there. And this is an opportunity for us to start kind of,
I mean, it hasn't been sitting there. Like, we've been on this.
No.
We like, since we've met, like, our entire relationship has been cray cray.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
Like, crazy. So, and then when we got married, I think God was like, "Oh, you've graduated to the next level of crazy," and then it just,
But there's just so many stories there.
Yeah.
That are like you, me, and God essentially, and just like. And it's only been like a year, almost a year
of being married.
Yeah.
But there's stories
it's just really cool. Like, it's very encouraging. I mean, I just looking back and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Like, and
like,
even
people
college,
would be encouraged if we could tell these stories.
Yes.
And so that's the idea with the podcast.
That is the idea.
Yeah.
And we already know people that we've talked to in person that were encouraged, and we're like, that's awesome, and it's not going to stop, because like, we're just at the very, very, very start of an amazing journey, and
some really cool stuff
with God, and in more ways than one. And so we're inviting you guys to come along for the ride. I think, and that's right. Wow. How the mighty have fallen.
If you can't, those of you can't see, he was looking at the monitor that we have in front of us, not the camera, when he said that. the computer will also be coming with us, but most importantly,
you come along for the ride. I can assure you that this will not be your typical walk down good old normal street.
It's just not. Yeah, this ain't normal street. If you would like normal street, just head. The stairs are over there out of our cellar, and you can just go right back up there.
This is like one of those streets that you walk down in your dream, and suddenly you're on a carousel, and then you're going down a slide, and then you're riding a water buffalo, and your water buffalo's name is Tom, and Tom also happens to have a fedora, and then suddenly he's a gangster, and you're all like being all gangster like, and you're robbing a store, except for you're the good guys and the store is the bad guys.
Anyway, before you get too lost there,
that's unnormal this street is.
Pretty much.
Yes. So
that was actually a good description, though.
I thought that was pretty good.
Are you Tom with the fedora?
No, that's the water buffalo, which isn't you, by the way. It's not you. It's not
sure?
you.
I feel like it might be me.
No. No.
That's funny.
Anyway, so I think we're at like 35 minutes now.
35 minutes. I thought maybe it might be longer than that.
And the dryer still says 20 minutes.
It said 20 minutes for the entire 35 minutes that we've been sitting here.
Yeah.
So
we're washing our comforter, and I guess it's more wet than.
Here's the thing: we will not speak any negativity over our washer and dryer.
No,
in their presence.
They're special
because they are special.
Yeah.
And we just pray over them, and we just speak life over them, and we just say
we really, really don't want to try and get another washer and dryer down here again because.
No, that's a story that we will also tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of terrifying.
That was something,
Yeah.
but there were no injuries or deaths involved, which was
very thankful.
Very good, because that seemed like a possibility at one point. So
I think at several points,
at
actually.
several points. Yes.
And there were several points there where it was like, we just.
How committed are we to having clean laundry?
We were pretty committed, but our neighbor came in clutch. But we'll
I think he was even more committed. He's like, I'm not living beside stanky homeless people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not all. Anyway, that sounded mean to homeless people, but that's not what I meant. Because, anyway.
It's fine if we're pretending that we're the homeless people.
Yeah, if we're the homeless people. Yeah.
Which we've been. But
yeah, that's also another story for another time.
Shall I
You should outro.
Outro it. Okay.
That's it, guys.
Yeah. This has been InterCellar Pod. Thanks for joining us in our cellar. And remember, there isn't a shadow too deep, nor stronghold too great, that his light cannot find you, and he will bear you up on eagle's wings, and if you only hope in him. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Wraps it up there.
Yeah.
We'll have to gotta get that memorized, but
thanks for making it all the way through our first episode ever.
Yeah, and if you'd like to listen in a different way than you listened, we're gonna be on YouTube and we're on Spotify, and I'm going to try and figure out how to make it go on to the other podcast platforms as well.
Apple and Samsung.
Come into a podcast location near you. So. But yes, if you're listening to this, there is a video version on YouTube. So, all right.
Find us everywhere at the InterCellar Pod. Bye, guys.
Bye.